Hi friends!
Hey guys.
We wanted to bring you today some ideas on some cheap things to do for fun. And obviously since we live on the road and we're doing everything on a budget, we've gotten pretty good at finding ways to entertain ourselves without spending a lot of dough. So we know we have a lot of people out there that are either getting ready to live on the road, or some of you guys do live on the road. Maybe you'll get some ideas for more things to do on those rainy days in the city. And also a lot of people, I think, are trying to be a lot more minimalistic and simplistic today in their lifestyle. Either to save money, if you're just trying to save some money, pay down some debt or something, or also to reduce your footprint and be a little lighter on the environment. So all of these things will fall in that category. So let's see. What do we do when we're stuck in a city? As you guys know, we like to be in nature more so than not. But sometimes we do get stuck in a city. And we found a lot of fun things to do. You want to introduce some of those?
One of the main things is we go to parks a lot. And with dogs, we hit up a lot of dog parks. Anytime a city has a dog park, we pretty much spend a lot of time there. Let them run around, and then they can play in the water and stuff and run some energy out.
Yeah.
So then they're not cooped up in the car all day.
So obviously if you do have dogs, that's one thing you can do. And we actually have a section on the website where we're posting all the dog parks we've went to. So if you're traveling, you might want to check that out and get some ideas on the ones that are awesome and the ones that are kind of crappy, that have, you know, like it's just a sand lot, or it's super small, or no water or something. So we kind of rated them and we say which ones are best. And as far as parks, we've been to quite a few of those too, as we've traveled.
We like to sit and cook in parks, or just sit and read in parks. There's usually a lot of shade, and there's water there too, so it makes it's just a nice quiet place to sit most of the time. So
yeah, if you're stuck in a city, there's actually a lot of nice parks and places we've found. Like Eugene, Oregon has a pretty decent park around a river. And in the right time of year, there's berries all over you can pick and eat. And so we had a good time there. There was a dog park attached to it. Pretty big area. We like that.
Crescent City, California.
The beaches are nice.
They had free beaches with fur, and they're dog friendly, so you can go there.
Yeah. Bishop, California has its own outdoor playground all around it. But even the park in it's a little city, a little town. But the park there is pretty awesome, and and we just passed through there, and this time of year is great for that. The cottonwood trees are all they're all colorful because it's fall, and it looks really pretty there. So we've spent a lot of time just enjoying that spot.
Yeah.
So
we go to we've been hitting up a lot of libraries lately too. Just either finding books, and sometimes they have a lot of book exchange, so you can go and trade in a book and just take a book, which works out pretty well because we like learning and reading along the way.
Yeah.
And we also go to a lot of thrift shops and get books for like 50 cents, $1.
Sometimes less, 25 cents.
If you get a lot of them have student discounts, so you can get a student or teacher discount. And
if you teach.
So we've been picking up books on a little bit of everything that we kind of want to learn about. So it's been
if you go to the thrift store, and obviously in the area you're in, you're bound to find books that are about that area, so you can learn about it, the geology or history or something like that. So that's really great. It makes the experience in a location that more and enjoyable if you know more about it.
Yeah.
And then we've also found a ton of other great books just about all kinds of topics. So we're reading like 3 at one time right now. But it's great. I mean, that's an almost completely free thing to do. I mean, when you're talking cents, you can find a dime or two on the ground, and that pretty much covers a book. So
yeah, we've been paying for our books with all of our change that we pick up on the ground. I got a biology textbook for like 50 cents.
Yeah,
and it was a college course book.
We've got some good history books. We just got 1491, which is about the history of indigenous peoples in the Americas before 1492, and some of the myths about what we thought about these civilizations that maybe weren't true. So that one's fun. We found some other great ones we'll talk about in another video. I'll show you. So learning's obviously a big thing, and you can do that for free. That's what's great about the time that we live in right now. you can learn. You can also go online and find videos if you're in a city and you can get Wi-Fi. Um, so we also like to go to museums, which a lot of you might be thinking, well, that costs money. But there are some museums that are free already. And there are also free museum days. Some of them have certain days of the week for that specific museum. So it might be like a Sunday or a Tuesday. We're planning on going to some natural history museums in some bigger cities that have those days for free. So we'll tell you how that goes. They sound awesome, so I can't wait to go. We went to a place in South Dakota, and it was awesome. It's called Eros. It's EROS, and it's basically, it receives Landsat imagery data, and you can tour it for free. So if you're passing through there, keep that in mind. That was an awesome facility. Very, very great.
Kind of like an art studio. It just shows you.
Yeah, Earth art, basically. Yeah.
It shows you all the Google Earth maps, pretty much.
It's the satellite imagery. Yeah. So they have information about it and interactive displays and stuff like that. So great place to learn too. So that's a good example if you're in a city, and find those and enjoy those free days. So I think that pretty much covers most of the stuff that we do to occupy our time in the city. Honestly, most other things cost money. So, I mean, if you actually are planning to live on the road, or you're just trying to be more minimalistic and save money, you're gonna have to drop those other habits that cost you money, like having a coffee every morning, or
a beer every night,
going to the bar all the time.
It adds up quick. So
yeah, so we've kind of dropped anything like that, and it helps us stay on the road longer. That's pretty much a big part of a lot of people ask, well, how do we do it and how do we afford it? Well, that's pretty much the answer. Lowering expenses, not really making more money for us. So you can do it on the cheap. So we did mention going to a thrift store to get books. We also go to the thrift stores to find other things that we can do, activities for cheap. So we bought some tennis rackets for a few bucks, and that allows us to, play tennis in a city, get some exercise, and it's fun. Didn't cost us much. And we actually bring them to the dog park as well and hit the balls for the dog there. So that's just an example. I mean, you might have another cool thing you can come up with. But we get a lot of things at thrift shops that we can save a bunch of money on. So, yeah. Other than that, I think it's mostly outside of the city is what you really want to do to save money. Yeah. And that's pretty much what we stick to.
Yeah, our main things are hiking and backpacking, and pretty much once you get the gear, which all you need is a backpack and a few little things, you don't have to go all out and do the ultra lightweight stuff, because that'll cost you $1,000. But you can still do it really cheap. So we hike and backpack everywhere we go, and filter water. And we just do the little things, and we started looking at maybe getting a kayak or something like that, and then it turned into we travel to 2 different states, and then we have to license it in every different state. So it's been kind of, we're still back and forth on that, which if that's your thing, then it would be worth it, but it's not a major.
If you live on the road, something to consider, anything that you need a license for instance, the kayaking he mentioned, we might need to license it in each state. Or even some of you might have fishing as a hobby, and that's great, and that can be your thing if you live on the road. But again, when you get into the license issue, it can add up, because then you have to buy it for every new place you go to. And we'd love to do a lot of that more often, but it's...
and it takes up a lot of space in the car.
We don't really want to get into those costs. But, we did have a friend mention an idea that maybe... paddle boarding could be an alternative to bringing a paddle board. To be if you're a water lover, maybe that's an idea, and you're wanting to live on the road. Maybe you could do that instead of the kayaking. I don't think you have to license them, but I am not sure about that. We'll have to look into that. But cool idea. So,
I think that was
the
main portion, but
So I mean, that's pretty much what we do. Hiking's probably the one sport that I know you guys probably have we have diverse hobbies out there. So some of you might be climbers, and if that's the case, you probably already have the gear. So there you go. So that kind of, you might not want to be picking up a new hobby that has a high startup cost, right?
Yeah.
So
We like
some,
hiking and backpacking because you can pretty much do it whenever, wherever. You don't have to have nice weather in order to do it. You can do it when it's raining. You can do it when it's snowing. Camping you can do any time
yeah,
of the season, so it's not like a seasonal thing, which works out really well. So we can
that's
do it
basically
wherever we go.
yeah, that's basically why we chose that as our like primary hobby on the road now to save money because it just seems to be the one that fits the best. But
And we like exploring, so we like
yeah,
to get way in there.
yeah, and
So
that's one other thing that you can do. Um, just come up with a fun Kluani. Come here, Kluani. Just come up with a fun thing to do to explore. So, for instance, let's say we can combine a few of them. Let's say you go to the thrift store, you can find like a rock hounding book, and you could just go out and you could find these, minerals or fossils and just go on this exploration adventure. I mean, anything that's an adventure like that. Or maybe, going from site to site. If you like ruins or geologic sites of interest, or I don't know what else. You
yeah,
could go swimming. That's
we've been
that's
finding a lot
cheap.
of lakes there's a lake up here that we're gonna go hike to tomorrow. So
Yeah, find hidden lakes. Hidden lakes. If you find hidden lakes, let us know where they're at, because
very hard to
that's a
find.
tough one to find that aren't crowded. You pretty much have to hike in pretty far to find those, but yeah. So if you guys have other ideas, that'd be awesome for you to share it and let us know. Maybe we'll, think of something else that we can add to our list. And if you could share it with everyone else too,
Yeah.
that'd be great. So, all
All
right.
right. Till next time. See you
See ya.
guys.